Someone opened a brand new Corsair memory kit, checked the chips inside, and found they weren't made by Samsung, Micron, or SK Hynix. They were Chinese. Beat 1. The stick that shouldn't exist. Picture the module in your hands. Black heat spreader, familiar branding, specs that read like 1,000 other kits on the shelf. DDR5-6000, timings of 3644-4496, running at 1.35 volts with support for both Intel XMP and AMD Expo profiles. Nothing about it whispers revolution, but peel back the label and the DRAM dies underneath were made by Chongshin Memory Technologies, or CXMT, China's largest memory chip maker. Corsair normally sources its consumer memory from Micron. So why does this matter when companies swap suppliers all the time? Because memory isn't a normal industry. For decades, almost every computer on Earth, your gaming rig, your work laptop, the server humming in some data center, has run on chips from the same tiny cluster of manufacturers. 3 names, over and over, and now a 4th has quietly slipped inside one of the most trusted brands in enthusiast PC building. That's not a product launch, that's a crack in a wall that stood for 30 years. And once a crack appears, the first thing that changes isn't technology, it's leverage. Beat 2. Why RAM is the hardest thing to fake. Here's what most people never appreciate about memory. Everyone obsesses over processors, core counts, graphics cards, benchmark charts stuffed with colored bars. RAM only enters the conversation when there isn't enough of it. Open too many tabs, launch a heavy game, run a local AI model, and suddenly, the whole machine starts stuttering. The processor does the thinking, but memory is the desk it thinks on. A brilliant worker at a tiny cluttered desk gets very little done. Now consider what making that desk actually requires. Modern DRAM stores data in billions of microscopic cells, each holding a faint electrical charge that leaks away almost instantly, forcing the system to refresh every cell thousands of times a second. That's what the dynamic in dynamic RAM means. One weak cell, one unstable timing margin, one manufacturing hiccup, and you get crashes that only appear when the chip runs hot after 4 hours. This brutal difficulty is exactly why the industry collapsed down to a handful of survivors. Memory manufacturing is savagely cyclical. Prices spike, everyone expands, supply floods, prices crater, the weak get wiped out. Every cycle is a filter, and for years, only 3 companies kept passing through it. Beat 3. The 3 farms behind every brand. Walk into any store and the memory aisle looks gloriously diverse. Corsair, Kingston, G-Skill, Crucial, a dozen others. But that variety is mostly an illusion. Most of those brands don't make the silicon at all. They buy dies from the same small group. Test them, mount them on boards, tune the profiles, bolt on cooling, and ship a finished product. Think of it like bakeries and wheat farms. Plenty of bakeries, plenty of labels in the bread aisle, but trace it back and nearly all of them buy from the same 3 farms. That concentration hands enormous power to whoever owns the farms. When only 3 suppliers control a critical component, buyers take whatever price they're given. There's nowhere else to go. This is the quiet tyranny of a market with 3 chairs at the table, and it explains why a single unremarkable Corsair stick is worth talking about for 10 straight minutes. CXMT is trying to drag a 4th chair into the room, not to the head of the table, not yet, just into the room, and that alone changes the temperature of every negotiation that happens there. Beat 4. Who is CXMT really? So where did this challenger come from? CXMT counts Alibaba, Tencent, and ByteDance among its customers and holds roughly 7.7% of the global DRAM market. That sounds modest until you learn how fast it got there. The company entered an industry where every rival already owned massive factories, decades of engineering knowledge, and deep customer relationships. It didn't start at the starting line. It started while the race was already at full sprint. It focused on the domestic market first, learning the one thing that separates a lab demo from a real business: yield. When a factory processes a wafer holding hundreds of dies, the value depends entirely on how many actually work. A gorgeous prototype means nothing if most of the batch is scrap. That invisible mountain has buried countless memory startups. CXMT appears to have climbed it. It now offers DDR5 dies in 16 gigabit and 24 gigabit configurations with speeds up to 8,000 megatransfers per second. And the financials are staggering. Its first quarter 2026 revenue surged to the equivalent of $7.4 billion, up 719% year-on-year, swinging from a loss to a multi-billion-dollar profit. A company that was barely visible is suddenly, undeniably, awake. Beat 5, the AI boom, left a door wide open. Now here's the piece that makes the timing almost too perfect. Why would a brand like Corsair reach for a new supplier at all? The answer starts far from gaming PCs inside AI data centers. Modern AI accelerators are starving for high bandwidth memory, or HBM, which stacks dies vertically right next to the processor to move colossal amounts of data. It's also wildly profitable, far more lucrative than ordinary desktop RAM, so naturally, the big three are pouring their factories into it. But wafers aren't infinite. Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron have redirected the bulk of their capacity toward high-bandwidth memory for AI, leaving the consumer PC market chronically undersupplied, and DDR5 prices have climbed sharply throughout 2026. Samsung and SK Hynix jointly warned that these AI-driven shortages are expected to persist through 2027 and beyond, with hyperscalers booking supply years in advance. The penthouse is expanding while the ground floor apartments vanish. And that is precisely the gap CXMT walks into. It doesn't need to beat the best chip Samsung ever built. It just needs to be good enough, stable enough, and available enough at the exact moment the giants stopped caring about the memory in your gaming rig. Beat 6. Why the Corsair logo is the real weapon. Let's be honest about what CXMT still can't prove. A label reading DDR5-6000 tells you nothing about long-term reliability, overclocking headroom, or how the chip behaves after hours under load at high temperature. Memory stability is deceptive. A system can boot, run everyday software, look flawless, then throw an error deep into a heavy workload. That's why serious qualification takes months of voltage, temperature, and stress testing. So the Corsair name does something no spec sheet can. Corsair is a trust layer. Buyers may not know CXMT, but they know the Vengeance line, and if these chips can pass validation for a recognizable branded kit, they help expand supply without asking anyone to gamble on unknown white-label hardware. This is how industrial acceptance actually spreads. A part shows up in one regional product, then another brand qualifies it, then a laptop maker tests it, volumes grow, reliability data piles up, and one day the supplier is simply part of the furniture. The hardest step was never building the chip. It was convincing the first big customer to take the risk. That's why one Corsair module matters far more than its sales numbers suggest. It turns the question from, has anyone used this, into how did it perform? And that second question is a much easier one to answer yes to. Beat 7. Is China really coming after the US chipmakers? So does this mean China has come to dethrone Samsung, Micron, and SK Hynix? Not so fast. The immediate threat was never that millions of buyers abandoned Korean and American memory overnight. The immediate threat is bargaining power. Picture 3 taxi companies owning an airport. Prices stay comfortable because every traveler must pick one of them. Then a 4th operator rolls up with enough cars for maybe 1/10 of the passengers. It hasn't conquered anything, but suddenly every existing company knows customers have a choice, and the whole conversation shifts. That's the role CXMT could play, and there are real limits. Its monthly wafer output sits around 240,000 units. Roughly half of SK Hynix's capacity and about 1/3 of Samsung's. Not nearly enough to flood the market. The geopolitics cut deeper too. The US has restricted exports of the most advanced chip-making equipment to China, which means CXMT can't manufacture the most cutting-edge memory nodes, and the pressure is escalating. A May 2026 US procurement rule adds CXMT to covered semiconductor restrictions for federal contractors starting August 1st, 2026. So will your next RAM kit get cheaper? Maybe, but not instantly. Industry voices suggest real relief could arrive in the second half of 2027 as CXMT and China's NAND leader roughly double their output. CXMT might not make memory dramatically cheap. It might simply stop prices from climbing even faster. And sometimes the disaster you quietly prevent is worth as much as the discount you never see. So where do you land? Would you buy a Corsair kit running Chinese CXMT chips if it carried the same warranty and specs at a noticeably lower price? Or would you stick with Samsung, Micron, Or SK Hynix until Chinese DRAM builds a longer track record? Drop your take in the comments. I read them all. And if you want to keep watching how China's chip industry moves from press release promises into the real products sitting inside your computer, hit that subscribe button. Because the next big shift in technology might not arrive in some futuristic supercomputer. It may already be hiding under the heat spreader of an ordinary stick of RAM.